Hi, when you're a Christian and you're trying to follow Christ and live like he did, and especially love like he did and as he does, it can be hard to know what to do when you come across a difficult personality or someone who consistently breaks your trust. But we're going to use my model to break it down and help us to understand how to deal with that. Hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can heal and grow and move on with your life. Today, everything is from that same book, the Faith-Based Relationship Trust Boundary Model. I'll put a QR code on the screen, and there is a link in the description. So when you have someone who just has a difficult personality, like it's really hard to be around them, or they're so negative, they're constantly putting doubt in your mind, or maybe they're just like sucking all your time from you, and it's really pointless, it's for no reason, and every time you leave, you feel more drained than before, more discouraged than before, and you're noticing it's really starting to almost like plague you. That is a problem, and it is okay to have boundaries even as a Christian. And how do we know that? Because the Bible walks us through how to do it. So if we're looking at, first of all, where God told us to put our greatest trust, and that is in him, and trust him more than princes, trust him more than any man you put your trust in. You give most trust to God. So what does it mean to put your greatest trust in God? Part of that is meaning you share most with him. You rely the most on him. You want most from him because you trust him. Also, with your emotional boundary, that just means what is in your head and what's in your heart. As much as you're sharing of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're worrying about, that's how close emotionally you're letting someone get to you, and you're having less emotional boundaries the closer someone is. If you're really not saying what you're thinking, you're really not sharing, how you're feeling, your fears, your traumas, your past mistakes, your future hopes. If you're not really saying any of those things to someone, you're having a stronger emotional boundary, and you're emoting to a much, a lesser extent. So if we know God is supposed to be where our greatest trust go, our greatest faith goes, our closest relationship is to be, then that means nobody gets closer to us than him. So if you take a look at the faith-based relationship trust boundary model, you can see this represents self, and sometimes that's referred to as your inner self or the inner man. And then you kind of have everybody else as you go out. So if someone is gaining trust with you, someone is showing that you can trust them, they get closer to you. And you can see on the model, no one is closer than partner, and no one goes in that self rung except God. God can go in that rung. Why? Because you are better off putting your greatest trust in him. So if we can't really tell how we're trusting God more than our partner, trusting God more than our sister, more than our mother, more than our father, more than our friend, then it would be a matter of what we're sharing. We're sharing just as much with everyone else as we are with God, which means we're trusting everyone else at the same level we are with God. So there would be a place that's special between you and God where you're sharing the innermost parts of your inner self with him alone. So yes, you would share with partner. Yes, you could keep sharing with friends and family to the extent that they've built trust with you. But the most, which is all of you, all of that would go with God. We would trust him with all of it. Your past, your present, your future, what you're feeling, what you're worried about, what you're hoping for, all of those things. So if we are giving him the greatest trust, just like it says in Psalm, we're putting the most trust in him, even more than princes. If we're giving him the greatest amount of trust, then that means we are giving him the most of our inner self, which is the most of our thoughts and feelings, hopes, fears, failures, all of those things. That's reserved for him alone. And then outside of that inner self or that inner man, everybody else, we're going to meet in those rungs, but nobody goes in self but God, not partner, not anyone, because he alone has earned that level of trust with us. And that's why he alone goes there. And that is where you are your safest. And you'll start to feel really vulnerable or really on edge, really uneasy. And now, like, I've shared these deep private things with you, and now I got to watch you like a hawk to make sure you don't tell somebody else, or you don't use it against me, or, now I was this vulnerable with you and now you're planting all these doubts in my mind. So this is why it is the most important that we give our greatest trust to God and to God alone, because he is the only one who is worthy of that much trust. We're giving such a big responsibility to him. And it's great because when you can share that much of yourself with God, then that's a cure for loneliness. That is a cure for fear. That is a cure for doubt. It's a cure for hopelessness. It's a cure for isolation. It's a cure for so many other things just by giving him that level of trust. But because it's hard to know, like, what does it mean to trust you more? It means you share most with him. That inner private self of yours, you can give all of that to him. And if you go back again to Judges and you look at the story of Samson and Delilah, Samson has a Nazarene vow with God. And the one thing that he shared with Delilah, which was the beginning of his demise, and it was a terrible demise. You can go read that in Judges 16. But if you're looking at that, it really was because all that trust he had with God and that vow that was private, he shared that with Delilah. And that was between him and God. So having these things that are reserved, that are just for you and God, even from partner. And here can be a problem because, you know, the world kind of teaches us that it's bad to have these level of relationships or to have these different boundaries, or to not be super vulnerable to everyone means that you're not trustworthy or you're not being vulnerable. And so that's a bad thing. But actually, it's not a good thing to give this precious parts of self away to just anyone, right? Someone really has to earn your trust. And sometimes in relationships, partner wants to go and self. Partner wants just as much as we're going to give to God. But if we have to show a way like, well, how is my relationship with partner not as close as my relationship with God? How is that my closest, my everything, my innermost private relationship? I have to be able to differentiate that. And I'm sure there are some things, you know, that you don't want to share with your partner that you can absolutely share with God, whether it's a doubt or a fear or some of your shame. You know, sometimes that's not a space to share that with partner, but next to God, no one gets more than partner. So we'll talk later, but if you're sharing just as much with maybe your mother or a sister or a child as you are with partner, meaning emotionally what you're saying out of your mouth, then that would be a problem. That's going to cause a problem in the marriage. So if we want to, you know, like straighten it up and make sure that we are giving our greatest levels of trust to God, that's where we would make sure I'm telling the most to him. I'm sharing on a level with him that I am not sharing with anyone else in my life. No matter how much trust they've given me, they're never going to be able to give me the level of trust that I find in God, that God has earned with me. So therefore, no one gets more of me than God. That's not any more of what I'm thinking and feeling and hoping and wishing and past experience, failures, traumas, all those things. So your greatest plans, greatest desires, greatest failures, all of it, any of those things, the more you share with God, the closer you are. And that is represented that you're giving him your greatest trust. So hopefully that breaks down what it is to put your greatest trust in God, and also understanding that that's private. So if someone comes along and they want to know what you're thinking and feeling, or they demand to know what you're thinking and feeling, that's not their place. And you get to have a boundary with that. Even if you're a Christian, you get to say, I'm not ready to talk about that. I'm not comfortable sharing that. Or no, that's not something I just discussed. That's between me and God. Or my plans with God are private for now until he tells me otherwise. There's always going to be a level of privacy that is reserved for you and God. And also there is a level of privacy that's reserved for you and your other relationships. So you decide what you share, when you share it, and with whom you're going to share it with always. And that also applies if you're a Christian. That is yours to govern and to use your wisdom and discretion to decide the level you're going to share at. So I think sometimes already there's this, you know, expectation in the world that you're just sharing everything and it's the best thing is to be as vulnerable as you can all the time. I would say that's not the healthiest thing. And if you've ever experienced the flip side of that, where it went south, right, or it went horribly wrong for you, then it's like, oh yeah, why would I need to share all that with someone I don't really know, or just because they asked? But then, you know, sometimes in the name of being a Christian and looking at that, we also think that that's our obligation, responsibility is to have no boundaries, but really, no, that's not true. You are still allowed to have boundaries, even as a Christian and even as someone who is trying to live out that kingdom lifestyle and live as Christ did. you still get to have boundaries. And a great way to tighten that up is to start by making sure no one gets more than God. He gets the most from you. So again, I hope you found this helpful. You can find the book on Amazon, or it's in the link in the description. I'll put some more videos on relational trauma so you can keep healing and moving forward. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.